Hi everybody who comes here and watch this video. I was asked by many of you to give an example how to make a spiritual bath effective. So I will give you a little conseil or advice on basic of spiritual bath. Your spiritual bath can be made for many reasons, but the most important reasons why we make it is to cleanse ourselves and also to break the power of certain energetic manipulations, also to cleanse our aura and our body from negative energies. Well, the best time to do it is a full moon and new moon, as a full moon new moon ritual in your life. As unfortunately many occult people does esoteric manipulation around this time, it is essential if you are regularly under spiritual attack that you do spiritual cleansing bath at full moon and new moon. Spiritual bath also can be done with different plants and different ingredients for healing, for also trying to induce more self-love in your life, and also to attract in your life more love in different relationships, like with your children, with your husband, with your family, with your brother, with your mother, with your parents. Then we use different plants and different ingredients in a bath. When you prepare your spiritual bath, please make sure that while you can use certain crystals to enhance the spiritual cleansing effect, but you need to know that when you put crystals in water, some of the crystals are dissolving and some of them have toxic effect on the skin. So I suggest I never ever use crystals in a bath water, but you can put the crystals all around your bath with your candles. That is a really good thing to do. It could really help you with the cleansing effect. Also, please make sure after you took your spiritual bath, what's happening, all the negative energies has been drawn out of your body, and they are slithering around in the water, okay? And on the surface of your body, it might stick some of them because of the water. So it is really good if you could take a very quick shower just to rinse your body so nothing stays on your body. Also, what I do regularly, always actually, when I finish a spiritual bath, I cleanse the bathtub very quickly with a spray. You know, it's not like a big spring cleaning or the weekly cleaning of yourself, of your bathroom, but you try to take off all these negative energies that might stick to your bathtub because of the spiritual bath. When you take your spiritual cleansing bath, some people add product to it to cleanse themselves also, like from the dirt. Personally, I do not like to do that, because when you take the shower, you can cleanse your body fully. Or it is possible, while not everybody likes it, not everybody use it, but it is possible to buy a buy a soap that has blessed with spiritually cleansing power, and usually there are plants in it, and also essential oils, and also usually we call that a sigil, like a sign of protection that is graved on it. And usually this Savon, it's a soap, is blessed and charged with this protective energy. Well, if you are very religious and you think this is a bit too witchy for you, you don't use it, I understand. But personally, I use that in my spiritual bath, or I don't use anything but when I take the shower. You need to understand, even some people take a shower before the spiritual bath to take heavy dirt, physical dirt off. Well, I don't do that. Well, if you want to be really, you want to do it, you can. I'm telling you, many people do that. But I think it's just too much. But after, if you do it, it's fine. I think what is the most important, that when you do at new moon and full moon, a really, really good spiritual cleansing bath that is really fully, and there maybe you can cleanse yourself before and after or so. But when you have to do a cleansing bath every day because you are under spiritual attack, honestly, it's a bit too much, and it's not too good for the environment, neither when you use so much water, okay? But it's up to you how you decide how you want to do it, okay? Well, when you make your bath, make sure that, well, don't make too hot water. Don't sit in a boiling water, but make sure that, well, calculate at least 20-30 minutes that you will stay in a spiritual cleansing bath. So try to make it as hot as possible that you can have, because it will cool down. Or the other option you can do, that you don't fill up the tub as usual, but time to time add hot water to your bath, because honestly, if you stay 30 minutes or 40 minutes in your spiritual cleansing bath after you get cold, especially at winter time, there is no point doing that, okay? So it's just a tiny bit of things that you need to think about. It's happened to me that it was too cold the water, so I had to come out very quickly. And I'm telling you, for a properly spiritual cleansing, you need at least 20, but rather 30 minutes in the bathtub. The base of spiritual bath is water and salt. You can put 2 to 4 handfuls of salt in your water. You can also dissolve the salt in the water in a bowl before you add it to your bath. It is useful if you have a sensitive skin. Also, if your skin does not take it well, the salt, because sometimes it dries the skin out. Sometimes I put 2 or 3 spoonfuls of bicarbonate of salt that usually I use for cooking, because it will soften your skin, and also it has cleansing effects. Well, if you don't have and you leave it out, it is not a problem, but the base is water and salt. Some people who lives close to the beach, and they have access to natural salty water. Some people use like natural water in the sea, for example, for cleansing, but not all of us has this chance. So I think the best way to do this is in your bathtub and using water and salt. Many people add dried flowers, fruits, or even different kind of medicinal herbs or plants to their bath, a spiritual cleansing bath. It's a really good idea. I do that often with certain, for example, I use often calendula flower, dried flower. That is really, really good for the skin also, and it has protective energy also. You need to know that some plants has irritating effect on the skin. So you need to check it out on Google that it won't irritate your skin. You need to make sure, for example, I know that ginger and chili pepper has protective cleansing energy, but if you put it in your bath water, I think you will have lots of problem, okay? But I think that is evident you want to do such a thing. But check out that there are no allergen effect of these plants before you put them in your water. Usually chamomile, calendula flower, well, rose petals has no allergic reaction usually in people, but rose petals won't protect you. So in protective cleansing bath, we normally don't put rose petals. Okay. Yes, so just make sure if you have a sensitive skin, you are be careful with plants and also with crystals, as I told you before. Slice up to 2 lemons and add to your spiritual bath. It's not only good for your skin, but it will help to cleanse your aura also. Boiling rosemary, sage or chamomile in a water and draining it and finally add it to your bath will also enhance its spiritual power. The other useful thing when you make a spiritual cleansing bath is to make a kind of cleansing bath oil. Usually I use olive oil as a carrier oil in this mixture, and you can check out the proportions on internet, what is the right proportions, but you can add to this oil lavender, jasmine, sage, thyme, rosemary, orange, citron, it's lemon, excuse me, I wrote it in French, and tea tree oil, okay, aromatherapy oil. With the proportions, make sure, if you overdo lavender, you overdo lemon, orange or tea tree, it's not a problem because these are very safe aromatherapy oils. So I don't know, a small 100 milliliter bottle of oil, you can put a 10 drop of each. But the other one, you need to check out on Google the proportions when you put in a carrier oil, how many milliliter oil you need to use for how many drops, okay? I know that also I didn't write down, but you can add to it a chamomile oil. The chamomile is very, very sensitive. Also rosemary and thyme and sage. And I think orange also, but it's not too much. So some aromatherapy oil, you need to respect the proportions because they can burn the skin if you put too much in it, okay? In a bath it will be diluted, but as I told you, the aromatherapy oil you don't need to worry about is lavender, it is lemon and tea tree, and maybe jasmine also. It's quite a safe oil. So I suggest you to put 10 drops in this carrier oil, and after you put 10 to 20 drops of this carrier oil or I don't know, 3-4 spoonful oil in a bath. Also, note that some people infuse this oil with the energy of the full moon or the new moon. So what they do, they leave the bottle just on a place in a house or in your garden, on your balcony for the night when there is full moon or new moon, so the energy of the moon can get absorbed in the oil. Well, if you don't do that, it's fine. It's a kind of witchy things, and some witches do that, but I use it in many spiritual practices. So if you do not want to infuse your oil with the energy of the moon, I understand it is useful without it, okay? The other thing you need to watch out, I had really bad experience with this, when you use this bath oil, when you get out of the bath, you have to be really, really careful, because the oil can stick to your bathtub and it will make it really slippery. So to avoid any accidents, you don't hurt yourself, when you get out of the bath, be careful, okay? I've already mentioned also that you can use candles to enhance the spiritual power of your bath. It's really nice to have, and it's really gives a really nice ambience to your bath. If you put 1 or 2 candles around your bath or close to your bathtub, make sure that it's fire safe, so you won't put the whole bathroom in fire. And I suggest you to use only white candles. And don't use any other colors. Don't mix up colors in spiritual bath, okay? It's better to use pure white candles. It will help you with your affirmations, your intentions when you meditate in the water. You can light also some cleansing incense like lemon balm or lavender, or you can also do it with other cleansing smudges that last long time. So you need to calculate, you will stay in the bath for 20-30 minutes minimum. So usually the incense that lasts longer, while it will help you also spiritually. When you put all the ingredients in your spiritual bath, you lit your candles, also your incense, and maybe you put even the music on, hold your hand over your bath and bless the water by imagining a divine light coming down from the sky and getting infused in the water. Your prayer is, please, universe, God, or the divinity you work with, cleanse me of the negative energies, curses, hexes, evil eyes that has been plucking me. Please reverse thy effect on me and make me pure. I thank you with all of my heart, and I love you, my God. Amen. I close this prayer with Amen because it means let it be. Even if you are not Christian, you can use that. Well, if you are a witch, usually witch says, so mote it be. Or if you are Muslim or any other religion, you use other words. But this is really an affirmation or a prayer that every people can use. It doesn't matter your religion. if you think Amen is really Christian kind of stuff, you can leave it out and put something else in it. The most important is that when you ask universe, when you ask your God to bless this water, you need to make sure that you thank it to your God. You have to make sure that you show your love towards universe and God for this fantastic, magnific cleansing effect that they will grant this water. Listening to spiritual music or cleansing subliminals will enhance the power of your spiritual bath. When you do your spiritual cleansing bath, sometimes it's good even before the bath to make a nice cleansing, protective, spiritual herbal tea to drink. Make one and drink some herbal tea that has spiritual cleansing and protective effect. I learned a really good mixture from a very good shaman friends who was my adopted father. And shamans are really good with plants also. And for example, it can help you to cleanse inside you from negative energies. Also, when I make a nice herbal tea, I usually thanks the plants, its power, and thanks God giving these plants on this earth, so we can use it for healing, so we can use it for cleansing and protecting. Well, if you don't do that, it's fine. You just make your normal herbal tea and enjoy it. Sometimes I even take it in my bath, and while I'm having bath, I'm sipping on it. You can try to do that also. Spiritual herbal teas like mint or chamomile tea, or a very good mixture, and I love it when you drink a ginger and lemon tea. That is excellent. Well, if you are not used to the bitter taste of herbal teas, you can add some honey to it. I advise you to use honey instead of sugar, because sugar does not have any spiritual effect. Honey can enhance love and joy in your life. That could help you to bring in positive energy after the cleansing bath. So I would prefer using honey for your herbal tea if you really need to sweeten it. While having your spiritual bath, you can meditate or pray for deliverance of negative energies, spiritual attacks, or hexes and curses. Imagine, when you meditate, you just try to imagine that the chains and the ties that is around you get broken and destroyed by the water. This is a kind of meditation technique that is very useful, and it can help you to release curses, hexes, evil eyes, or every kind of negative energies that has been sent on you. Well, nothing else left but for you to enjoy your spiritual cleansing bath. Meditate, enjoy this time. Actually, this time can be a really intimate moment with your God, with universe. Sometimes I even get downloads while I'm taking a spiritual cleansing bath. Visualization is really important to remember when I talk about that chains are dropping or ties are dropping. That can help you to break curses and hexes that people sent on you. And just try to enjoy this time and sip your herbal tea. And after, when you did the meditation to dissolve these energies in your life, on your aura, on your body, you can think about and visualizing positive things, what you want to achieve in your life. For example, if you know that people send hexes and curses on your finances, or they send these energies to destroy your health, you can try to visualize yourself healthy. You can try to visualize yourself rich, having lots of money on your bank account. If they send hexes and curses to trap you emotionally, that you are always crying or you're angry, visualize yourself that you are calm in every situation and in total control. You know, just bring in a kind of positive energy into your life that will replace these negative energies. That is really good, and it will help you to relax in the spiritual cleansing bath. Also, sometimes I do, as I told you, I listen to spiritual music or subliminals. There are really good subliminals on YouTube that breaks hexes and curses, also negative energies effect on your life. If you listen this during the spiritual bath, it's really good, really effective. Also, what I do, sometimes you can find meditations on YouTube for spiritual bath, for cleansing. The other thing that can be done, also cleansing your chakras in the same time. You can use certain mudras or sounds. I will put it up on I will put up a photo on my channel to show what kind of mudras you can use and what kind of sounds to cleanse up your chakras. With that, you can keep a spiritual hygiene on a daily basis, not just a spiritual bath. And what else I wanted to say? Yeah, the meditation is really, really important for cleansing. So you can listen something that is on YouTube for meditation, that it's a guideline how to meditate to cleanse yourself from these negative thoughts, negative energies that people send on you, heavy lies, things like that. And at the end, the last few minutes, last 10-15 minutes, I'm telling you, you just enjoy your bath, you enjoy the presence of God, the presence of this connection with the universe. And some people even astro project during these cleansing bath. It's possible. I teach about this on my spiritual channel. You can astro project even when you take your spiritual bath. You don't need to fall asleep for that. And when you astro project, maybe universe will show you, teach you certain things, so you could have a download. This is a really good spiritual practice. The water molecule has an incredible effect. It's like a kind of conductor of spirituality, and that's why water, and especially salty water, has an extraordinary cleansing effect on our spirit, on our life, on our aura, on our finances, destiny, everything. So you can ask the universe and your God to break every hexes and curses on every area of your life. This is very time consuming. Sometimes, I will be honest, I stay more than 30 minutes in a bath. And it is very useful. It should be built in your spiritual routine of full moon and new moon, because these nasty people work most of the time around these moon cycles. Well, I hope you liked my video. If you like it, please press a like button. And also, if this is the first video what you see when you come to my channel and you want to subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Take care.